Hey everyone, and welcome. Are you tired of the constant chatter in your mind? Does it feel like stress and anxiety are taking over your life? Well, today we're diving deep into some ancient wisdom that can help you reclaim your inner peace. We're going to explore 7 life-changing Buddhist teachings. These teachings can guide you toward a quieter mind, a more serene existence. Ready to get started? Your mind is constantly buzzing. Thoughts, worries, regrets, fears, distractions. It's a lot. But what if you could master the art of silence within? Imagine a life where inner peace replaces that stress, where clarity takes over the chaos. That's what we're exploring. In this video, we uncover 7 life-changing Buddhist teachings that will help you quiet your mind and transform your inner world. Stick around until the end, because the final lesson is key to lasting serenity. These teachings have stood the test of time. They offer wisdom that can reshape how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to life. Whether you're struggling with stress, anxiety, or you're just seeking a calmer mind, these insights will guide you toward a state of true inner peace. Buddhism has preserved some incredible ancient wisdom that can really help you silence that mental noise. It can help you break free from overthinking and discover a deep sense of inner peace. If you're ready to let go of stress, if you're ready to embrace clarity, keep watching. Let's start with number 1. 1. Become the observer, not the servant of your thoughts. Your mind is like an endless stream. It's constantly generating thoughts, some positive, some negative, and tons that are just completely random. These thoughts can range from helpful insights to anxious worries. But it's important to remember that you are not your thoughts. Just because a thought pops up doesn't mean it's true. It certainly doesn't mean you have to believe it or act on it. Buddhism teaches the practice of detached awareness. It's learning to watch your thoughts without getting emotionally caught up in them. Think of your thoughts as clouds drifting in the sky. Some are light and pleasant, others are dark and stormy. But no matter their shape, they always pass. Your mind is like the sky itself, vast, open, and unaffected by those passing clouds. The next time you feel overwhelmed by stress, worry, or negative thinking, take a deep breath and step back mentally. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," shift your perspective to, "I am noticing anxiety in my mind." This small change creates distance between you and your thoughts. It makes it easier to let them pass without feeling controlled by them. By practicing this awareness every day, you free yourself from that endless cycle of overthinking. You'll no longer react impulsively to every single thought. Instead, you can choose how to respond with clarity and wisdom. Remember, your thoughts do not control you unless you allow them to. You are the observer, not the servant. 2. Silence the mind by mastering your breath. Your breath is one of the most powerful tools for calming the mind and finding inner stillness. In Buddhism, breath is considered a direct path to mindfulness. It helps anchor you in the present moment. When your mind is restless, your thoughts race, and your emotions become overwhelming. Your breath, it's always there as a steady refuge. Most people breathe unconsciously, often in shallow, quick patterns, especially when stressed. But when you learn to control your breath, you gain control over your mind. A slow, deep breath sends signals to your nervous system, telling your body to relax, telling your mind to slow down. A simple yet effective Buddhist breathing practice is conscious breathing. Try this. Inhale deeply through your nose for a slow count of 4. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Exhale gently through your mouth for 4 counts. Pause, then repeat that cycle. As you're doing this, focus your full attention on the feeling of air entering and leaving your body. Notice how your chest and belly rise and fall. The more you concentrate on your breath, the quieter your thoughts become. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, pause for a moment and return to your breath. It's a simple habit that can instantly create space between you and your emotions. It allows you to respond with calmness instead of reacting impulsively. With practice, your breath becomes a tool for inner peace. It helps you silence the noise of the mind and reconnect with the present moment. 3. Reduce mental clutter with simplicity. A cluttered mind is often the result of an overstimulated life. Too many distractions, too much information, and way too many unnecessary worries. In Buddhism, Simplicity isn't just about owning fewer things. It's about creating mental space by letting go of what doesn't serve you. When your life is filled with unnecessary commitments, excess possessions, or constant digital distractions, your mind gets restless and overwhelmed. One way to reduce mental clutter is by simplifying your daily habits. Start by focusing on what truly matters. Ask yourself, am I holding on to things, physical or emotional, that no longer serve me? Do I spend too much time worrying about things I can't control? Am I overloading my mind with social media, news, or endless entertainment? The less mental and physical clutter you have, the more peace you will experience. Start small. Tidy up your living space. Limit unnecessary screen time. Be intentional about where you direct your attention. Even something as simple as reducing multitasking, focusing on one thing at a time, it can help clear your mind. Simplicity is about making space for what truly matters: peace, clarity, and presence. When you stop filling your mind with unnecessary noise, you create room for stillness and wisdom to arise. 4. The power of single tasking. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Our minds have become accustomed to jumping from one task to another. We check our phones while eating, switch between tabs while working, try to juggle multiple conversations at once. This habit of dividing attention might feel productive, but in reality, it scatters the mind, it increases stress, and reduces the quality of your experiences. The mind thrives when it's fully engaged in a single task. By immersing ourselves in one activity with full awareness, we cultivate clarity, efficiency, and a deeper sense of peace. To begin this practice, it's essential to approach each task with complete focus. When you work, work with full attention. When you eat, be fully present with your meal. When you walk, notice each step. Instead of letting your mind wander, avoid switching between tasks unnecessarily. It only fragments your attention and reduces the quality of what you're doing. A crucial step in maintaining focus is eliminating distractions. The modern world is filled with interruptions, notifications, emails, social media, background noise, all pulling the mind in different directions. Creating an environment that supports concentration is key. Put your phone on silent, close unnecessary apps, find a quiet space. A clutter-free environment also helps reduce mental clutter. It makes it easier to direct your full awareness to the task at hand. Engaging the senses deepens the experience and strengthens presence. Instead of rushing through tasks mechanically, pay close attention to the physical sensations involved. If you're drinking tea, notice the warmth of the cup, the aroma rising, the taste with each sip. If you're writing, feel the smooth movement of the pen across the paper. By tuning into those sensory details, you pull your mind away from distractions and into the present moment where true calmness resides. Slowing down and moving with intention also plays a significant role in sharpening focus. In a culture that values speed and efficiency, we often rush through activities without truly experiencing them. But by practicing slow and deliberate actions, your mind becomes more attentive. The act itself becomes meditative. Washing dishes, folding clothes, even typing on a keyboard can become moments of mindfulness when done with full awareness. Another powerful practice is incorporating short pauses between tasks. Instead of moving from one activity to the next in a hurried way, take a deep breath before transitioning. That brief moment of stillness resets the mind, preventing mental fatigue and improving clarity. Even a few seconds of mindful breathing can help you regain focus and approach the next task with a fresh, undistracted mind. By practicing these small but powerful habits every day, your mind gradually learns to stay present and fully engaged in whatever is happening. Over time, this leads to a calmer, clearer, just more intentional way of living and allowing for greater fulfillment in every moment. 5. Stop over-identifying with your problems. One of the biggest sources of mental suffering is the tendency to over-identify with our problems. When challenges arise, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even stuck. However, the mind often makes these struggles even worse by attaching them to our identity. Instead of seeing problems as temporary situations, we start believing that they define who we are. This attachment creates unnecessary stress, anxiety, and a cycle of negative thinking. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from clinging to emotions, thoughts, and personal struggles. When you over-identify with your problems, you reinforce the belief that they are a fundamental part of you. Instead of saying, I am stressed, try shifting to I am experiencing stress. Instead of I am a failure, say I am facing a setback. This simple change in language creates space between you and your difficulties. It helps you see them for what they really are, temporary experiences, not permanent truths. Your mind generates thoughts constantly, but not all of them are true or useful. Just because you think something doesn't mean you have to believe it. Often, problems feel heavier than they actually are because we replay them in our minds, feeding them with more energy. Instead of letting your thoughts define you, practice stepping back and observing them like an outsider. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a river. Acknowledge them, but let them drift away without grabbing onto them. Another key to detaching from problems is recognizing that everything is temporary. Emotions, struggles, even life circumstances, they're always changing. What feels overwhelming today might not matter in a few weeks, months, or years. By remembering the impermanence of all things, you can navigate challenges with a sense of calm and perspective. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for overcoming over-identification. When a problem arises, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and bring your attention to the present. Ask yourself, am I making this problem bigger by overthinking? Is this truly who I am, or is it just something I'm experiencing right now? Practicing this awareness daily helps train your mind to respond rather than react, leading to greater emotional balance and inner peace. Instead of labeling yourself based on your struggles, focus on cultivating resilience and wisdom. Every challenge carries a lesson. The more you detach from the emotional weight of problems, the more clearly you can see solutions. When you stop over-identifying with difficulties, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering, and you create space for growth, peace, and a deeper understanding of yourself. Another helpful practice is shifting your perspective on problems. Rather than seeing them as obstacles, try viewing them as opportunities for growth. When you stop resisting difficulties and start embracing them as part of life's natural flow, they lose their power over you. Problems aren't punishments, they're invitations to evolve, learn, and become stronger. Practicing gratitude can also weaken the grip of over-identification. Even in difficult times, there's always something to be grateful for. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life, you remind yourself that problems do not define your existence. Gratitude shifts your attention away from lack and towards abundance, creating a more balanced mindset. Surrounding yourself with supportive and mindful individuals can also help you detach from problems. When you talk to people who see life with clarity, their perspectives can help you break free from negative mental loops. Seek out wisdom from spiritual teachings, books, or mentors who remind you that struggles are temporary and that you are far greater than any problem you face. Finally, remember that peace does not come from a life without problems. It comes from a mind that no longer lets problems control it. The goal isn't to avoid difficulties, but to meet them with awareness, understanding, and detachment. When you stop over-identifying with your problems, you reclaim your power, and your mind becomes a place of freedom rather than suffering. 6. Daily stillness practices to reset your mind. We live in a fast-paced world, and stillness has become rare. Our minds are constantly bombarded with distractions, notifications, social media, work, and daily responsibilities. Even when we have a moment of free time, we often fill it with even more noise, whether it's scrolling through our phones or thinking about the next thing on our to-do list. This continuous mental activity creates stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. Buddhism teaches that true peace is found not in doing more, but in doing less. In moments of stillness, where the mind can reset and reconnect with itself. Stillness isn't just the absence of movement or noise. It's a conscious practice of pausing and observing. When you allow yourself to be still, even for a few minutes each day, your mind naturally begins to quiet down. Thoughts slow, emotions settle, and you regain clarity. Stillness acts as a reset button, clearing away mental clutter and allowing you to approach life with a sense of calm and focus. One of the simplest ways to cultivate stillness is through daily meditation. You don't need to sit for hours in deep contemplation. Just a few minutes of intentional silence can make a huge difference. Find a quiet space, Close your eyes and focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, simply observe them without judgment and let them pass. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to detach from distractions and return to a state of inner peace. Mindful breathing is another powerful stillness practice. Throughout the day, take a few moments to breathe deeply and mindfully. Inhale slowly, feeling the air fill your lungs. Then exhale gently, letting go of tension. This simple act instantly brings you back to the present moment, silencing the mind's restless chatter. Your breath is always available to you. It's a natural anchor to help ground you in stillness, no matter where you are. Spending time in nature is another way to invite stillness into your life. Nature has a unique ability to slow down the mind. Whether it's a quiet walk in the park, sitting by a river, or simply observing the trees and sky, being in nature helps you disconnect from external stress and reconnect with yourself. The sounds of birds, the movement of the wind, and the rhythm of natural life, they remind us to slow down and just be. Engaging in silent activities can also cultivate stillness. Many people associate stillness with meditation, but you can achieve the same effect through simple, quiet activities. Reading a book, journaling, painting, even sipping tea mindfully can all be forms of stillness. The key is to engage in these activities with full awareness, free from distractions or multitasking. Another practice is setting aside time for complete silence. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of silent retreats, but you can create a mini retreat in your own home. Try setting aside 10 to 15 minutes each day where you sit in silence, away from any screens, conversations, or distractions. Use this time to simply observe your thoughts, reflect, or just enjoy the peacefulness of the moment. Letting go of mental resistance is also essential for cultivating stillness. Often, when we try to be still, the mind resists. Thoughts pop up, telling us we should be doing something productive. But stillness itself is one of the most productive things you can do for your mind. Instead of resisting, allow yourself to embrace stillness as a necessary part of life. Another powerful stillness practice is body awareness. Close your eyes and scan your body from head to toe, noticing any areas of tension. By bringing attention to your body, you shift focus away from mental noise and into physical awareness. This technique helps you become more grounded and present in your body rather than lost in thought. Over time, these daily stillness practices will train your mind to be less reactive, more peaceful, and more resilient to stress. Stillness isn't about escaping life. It's about fully experiencing it with clarity and presence. When you make time for stillness, you create space for deeper wisdom, better decision-making, and a profound sense of inner balance. Remember, in stillness, the mind finds its natural state. The more you practice, the more you realize that peace is not something you have to chase, it's something you cultivate from within. 7. Let go of the need to control everything. One of the biggest sources of stress and mental unrest is the constant need to control everything: outcomes, people, emotions, even the future. We want life to unfold exactly as we expect, and when things don't go our way, we feel anxious, frustrated, even powerless. But Buddhism teaches a powerful truth: control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan, worry, or resist, life will always be unpredictable. The sooner we learn to let go, the sooner we can find true inner peace. The desire for control often comes from fear. We fear uncertainty, so we try to manipulate situations to fit our expectations. We fear loss, so we cling tightly to people, possessions, and identities. We fear failure, so we try to predict and prevent every possible mistake. But the more we hold on, the more suffering we create. Control does not bring security, it brings stress. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means trusting that life will unfold as it is meant to. One of the first steps in releasing control is acceptance. Accept that not everything is in your hands. No matter how much effort you put in, there will always be factors beyond your influence. Other people's actions, unexpected events, the passage of time. Instead of resisting reality, practice accepting things as they are. When you stop fighting what you cannot change, you free your mind from unnecessary tension and open yourself up to peace. A helpful practice is mindful surrender. The next time you feel the need to control a situation, pause and ask yourself, am I trying to force an outcome that is beyond my control? Is my worry or resistance actually changing anything? Can I approach this situation with more flexibility and openness? By shifting your perspective, you begin to see that control is not the key to happiness. Adaptability is. Life is like a river. The more you try to force it to flow in a certain direction, the more you struggle. But when you learn to flow with it, you experience freedom. Another key aspect of letting go is detachment from expectations. Many of our frustrations come from expecting things to be a certain way, expecting people to act a certain way, expecting success to come easily, expecting life to always be smooth. When reality doesn't match our expectations, we suffer. Instead of clinging to rigid expectations, practice approaching life with an open mind and heart. Accept that things may unfold differently than you imagined, and that's okay. Trusting the process is also essential. Sometimes things don't go the way we want, but that doesn't mean they're going wrong. Often, setbacks, delays, and unexpected changes lead us to better opportunities and greater wisdom. Looking back on life, you may realize that what once seemed like a failure was actually a necessary step toward growth. By embracing uncertainty and trusting the natural flow of life, you reduce anxiety and allow things to happen in their own time. One way to cultivate this mindset is through deep breathing and meditation. When you feel yourself getting anxious or trying to control a situation, take a step back, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I release the need to control. I trust that life will unfold as it should. Practicing this daily helps rewire your mind to respond with calmness rather than resistance. It's also important to recognize that letting go of control doesn't mean becoming passive. It means focusing on what you can control, your attitude, your actions, and your reactions, while releasing the need to control everything else. Instead of stressing over things outside your influence, put your energy into cultivating inner peace, patience, and resilience. Letting go is a lifelong practice, but the more you embrace it, the lighter your mind becomes. You'll no longer be burdened by unnecessary worry, and you'll find that life flows much more smoothly when you stop resisting it. True freedom comes not from controlling everything, but from learning to be at peace with whatever comes your way. The path to inner peace begins with small daily actions. By becoming the observer of your thoughts, mastering your breath, simplifying your life, embracing single tasking, detaching from problems, practicing daily stillness, and letting go of control, you can transform your mind into a sanctuary of calm. I hope this video has given you some practical tools to start quieting your mind today. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to Silent Strength for more wisdom on Buddhist philosophy and mindfulness. Also, let us know in the comments which of these teachings speaks to you the most. Thank you so much for watching. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering.